Hello everybody and welcome to the spring vlog. Initially I started recording myself speaking every week, and I always have trouble expressing my thoughts if I don't let them sit enough before I try to speak them. So I just figured I would narrate this all in one day after the majority of spring has kind of passed, to give it a new perspective. In April, it was very rainy in New York, and I noticed that I wasn't really doing a lot of typical spring activities like going outside and starting new hobbies and reading and crafting. I started off by making a lot of things. I really want to get into jewelry making. And I wouldn't say really want to, but I started making these little clay bean rings. But I don't know, maybe one day I can make them out of metal or something, because I think they're really lovely, the look of them. I love the idea of like having a flickable bean on my finger. I know that's a sexual innuendo, but couldn't it just be like a high five as well? I feel like my friends flick my tattoo all the time. I did a lot of tree observing and bloom observation, and logged blooms in my mind a lot. There's this overpass of cherry blossom trees. I think, I'm pretty sure they're cherry blossoms, but I am an intermediate flower observer, so I couldn't really tell you with 100% certainty. And they only bloom for maybe a week and a half at most, and then they're gone, almost like it's the fall or the winter. I went to Coachella, which was the first music festival that I've been to in a long time, and it was fun. I loved getting the chance to go back to California, not on business. Yeah, I think I'm getting to know myself a little bit more in the way I think about people. And I've always been, I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't sound like I'm sitting on a horse that's high. But I really do understand this about myself, and it is that I tend to like most people. And as I get older and I understand attraction and stuff more, I also realize that I really find beauty in everyone as well. And yeah, it tends to be a certain like energy or conversational connection or some sort of feeling that's just inherently there, that you don't really have to foster, that makes the connections that I have that are really close and have lasted throughout time so great. And it really has nothing to do with the look of a person, but it's just so funny being in Coachella world for one, but also coming back to New York and realizing that this fact is true here too, and that is that everyone is really beautiful everywhere. It's so interesting. I really love seeing like diversity in people, and New York has so much of it, and almost like an extremely curated uniqueness, which seems to like oppose, those two words oppose each other in my mind, like uniqueness and curation. I feel like curation is well thought out, where uniqueness is kind of organic. And it's so interesting because there's this like level of uniqueness here that everybody has, and it almost makes it feel less novel, maybe a little bit less exciting, or perhaps just a little bit more difficult to find, because now that everyone is at this level, there's almost like a new more heightened version of that exists, that maybe doesn't have to exist in some other places where there is like a cultural norm. So being unique isn't as difficult. Essentially what I'm saying is I didn't go to a liberal arts college, and moving to New York is really making me realize that I'm a lot less different than I thought. It's also making me want to learn everything. It's making me want to become everything. I want to do everything and flourish. Simultaneously, I'm trying to take a lot of pressure off of myself, and those are two opposing feelings as well. I have a habit of thinking that I'm not in the right place at the right time, and I think it takes me away from the beautiful age that I am, which is young 20s. I'm in my early 20s, and I'd hate to look back at them and think, wow, the whole time you were in them, you thought you were experiencing them wrong. That is just so impossible. There's no wrong way to experience anything. And I have a feeling that everything that I want to happen will happen, but just not when I want it to. And I think that's taking a little bit of pressure off. I don't think I have to rush anymore. In one of my little clips, I talked about how I was raised by a lot of nannies because my mom worked a full-time job and my parents were split, so my dad traveled a bunch. And I was around women in their early 20s often and adored them. And they were some of my favorite and probably most life-changing relationships that were really inspiring and important to me at a time when I could have felt really lonely, probably. And I always felt like this urge to be that age. So it's so cool that I'm there now and I can be the kind of person that I wanted to be when I was 13, because I remember exactly how I felt so vividly at that age. And now I'm here and I'm like, oh, this is why there was so much drama. This is why life sounded so juicy. I got a new job as well with kids, and that's been really lovely. I love them. It's only been a couple of weeks, but there are a few that, well, it's a little inappropriate. I'm actually not the best at setting boundaries, I don't think. Some of them will call me mommy and lick me, which I know is so odd and inappropriate. So I'm learning to ask them to stop politely, but I really love maybe those kind of relationships as well. Not just people my age who are from all these different groups or just know a lot of different things that I maybe don't, but age diversity as well, I think, has been really interesting and cool lately. It makes me look at everything a lot differently. It makes me think about my words differently, and I love being excited to be in a room full of people, and I get to do that a couple times a week, so it's lovely. I've been on a couple of picnics, and I have been doing a lot of cooking, and yeah, I'm excited. I don't feel behind. I feel nervously excited for what's next, and okay with the fact that it might not happen as quickly as I want it to, because I don't really know what it is, and that's awesome. I think a year here has been very interesting. I thought it would be awesome. It's been hard. But I love that. I've never learned more about myself than when life has been hard. I also remember creating like my favorite things, my favorite videos, or taking my favorite pictures, or living like my best moments when life was really hard for me. So to kind of be in another vulnerable position again and feel challenged is actually, in a way, kind of relieving. And I really love who I'm surrounded by, and I'm excited to learn more about myself through people. Yeah, I wrote a couple months ago about falling in love with people. Not a person necessarily, but just the people. And yeah, I think I'm still like riding on that feeling and trying to figure it out more. Does this just yeah, I know like the empath definition has been tossed around, and I feel like maybe I'm just making this all sound like I'm realizing that I am one, but I don't think it's empathy that I'm feeling. It's like obsession with different ways people live and like wanting to absorb it all. This spring, I want to be like a big sponge.
The autonomy, I guess, of
Oh, like...
Oh, no, remember she was telling us on our training, like, preparation of, like...
So I can help you. I got 5. I need a new strawberry. So I got 6.
Oh, don't destroy it.